correlates with it. Allow me, man. Shut up, Boris, man. No, I'm man. Come on, yeah. This article more or less correlates the same thing, people, really and truly. It's not saying anything new. So let's click off that. We've covered that. What else? Is this the same one? No, this is about Buendia. So we'll get on to Buendia in a second, people. Let me just make a note of my thing. So yeah, people, what are you guys saying before I carry on? I'll remove that. Ain't no one trying to hear that. Big up yourselves, people. That was a long one. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Jens is saying it's karma. Marry Stan's daughter, then take over the club. Hopefully, man. Why not? I don't know if any of that's true, but apart from the Mustafi new deal and Louise, obviously, I'm not too sure on the bid rejected for Xhaka. But then again, boy, someone's got to answer for them things, whether it's Arteta, Edu, or the owner. Someone's got to answer for that. You know, somebody's got to answer for that, because that's a bit of a dodgy one, man. And again, like I said, I don't know what's going on with their other NFL teams and all them other sporting teams and all those things, people. But apparently Easter said the Nuggets don't spend money at all. Jovic is making like $750K a year, best player and all-star. They don't buy big free agents either. So again, maybe they're under investing whatever they're doing. And again, the people are talking about the LA Rams Stadium. You know, East is also saying he's tried to work a similar model, similar to what he's got with Arteta. So maybe there's parallels there between what he wants to do at all his clubs. But I don't know, you know, like why is saying, you know, LA Rams are the love child of his team. So yeah, it's what we think, you know. Man are saying, but the Nuggets is the money maker, a lot of assets. So you lot know more than me. You know, Wayne is saying also the rest of Kroenke's teams is garbage though, but most man rate the Rams and the Nuggets. Okay. So you lot are schooling me. I don't know. But again, parallel. So what all of the other clubs and whatnot are just being used at his mercy, really, to just move forward. Big up yourself, go. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I love DG's opinion and personality. I really appreciate that, my guy, and I appreciate your support, because you ain't got nothing to do with the club. Like you said, Wayne's on to you guys. Like the video, fellas. We should have 200 likes now. Come on, guys. You lot are breaking my heart, man. Come on. We're at 134. Can we get to 200? Please, people. Come on, man. Bro, it's all right being late, man. You got your own life. You know, you can always scroll back or listen to at the point you came in and scroll back. It ain't no thing, man. Omar, big up yourself. You're taking in some pizza while listening to DG. Wish I could swap places with you because I am hungry. Liam, I see you. Another one that's got nothing to do with Arsenal but always supports the team. So thank you very much for always watching, people. It really means a lot, whether you're an Arsenal fan or others or any other club. But yeah, man. Yeah, you have to take that one in, man. We've briefly spoke about Holding, man. We briefly spoke about Holding. Graham has said, big up yourself, Graham. Would Holding's contract offer be on the table? Would Holding's contract offer be on the table? Would there have been if Saliba had been a hit? Probably, because again, he's homegrown. I think he's homegrown. So again, you have to keep him. Obviously, football is a squad game. Like, I feel Holding could, ironically, in footballist terms, again, if he earns his spot, football spots are earned. But again, if in an ideal world, you know, Marie seems to be having a spot. And again, it's down to him and Holding to fight each other for that first team spot. In an ideal world, Saliba comes back next season and, you know, is not the finished article, but gets significant football time here. Gabriel is the number one. So you've got 3 centre halves. You've heard rumours we'd like to sign a 4th. So you've got 4. And then you've got Holding. So for us, it'd be good in the squad. He is homegrown as well, so we have to consider that. So yeah, man. And you've also said, seems that Edu now reports that Arteta seems that the backroom staff is still in disarray just because the results improved. Don't swallow it. The chaos is still there. And Graham, to a degree, this is what I keep saying in my vids, articulated in a different way, not as good as yourself. But this is where that's what I mean by not that we have to be here, you know, blasting people and stuff, but it's like we start losing, and it's only then that people want to listen to me on YouTube talk and rant and whatnot. It's only then they want to rant with their friends. It's only then we're ready to have all of the serious talks around what's going on at the club and the structure. Now that we've won and got 4 games on the spin, we're shutting up about it. We're all happy. Where really we should be keeping the same energy to make sure that we get something in this summer, in this transfer window, in January, and long term try and fix the mess moving forward in the summer, because nothing's really changed. 4 wins is great. I'm happy the manager's got less pressure on him and the club because it's never healthy. But same way, nothing's really changed, really. If we dissect it, nothing has changed really. And I don't want us to lose, but I'm keen to see how we react from a player's perspective, by the way. And when we do eventually get that loss, because it'd be naive to assume we're going to take we're not going to drop any points this season. So we'll have to see, man. Slim has said, what are your thoughts on Arteta's backroom staff? We naturally look at Arteta when things go wrong, but with this being Arteta's first staff grouping, can we confidently say they're good enough? Really, you can't say backroom staff are good enough or not good enough. We said it about Wenger. We say it all the time. They're kind of unwritten men in that we can research about them, we see them on the TV, but we don't know. But I'd say again, we can only deal with what we can see on the football field. I don't know, but it is concerning because I always say to you guys, Arteta needs eyes and ears around at all times. It's about how these players are conducting themselves in training in general when he's not there. It's almost like being in school. When you had a certain teacher, you would all fix up. When that teacher is gone, you play around. So he needs people that can command that respect, that same level of respect. Fundamentally, people he trusts, because it's naive to expect that he takes every coaching session. So he has to believe these people are levels. I would like to see him surrounded by some experience and some strong characters, because I did feel earlier on in this season, I don't know if they've questioned Arteta, because now he's changed up things. But before, even starting Williams still, insisting with 3 at the back, insisting with pointless crossing prior, were they challenging him? Now, obviously, if you're in the dynamic, you're not the manager, so you can't really change anything. But I hope they are, because what we don't need is yes men. We'll never truly really know, but I hope that they're someone more experienced. I hope they provide a different perspective. And I just hope that they're knowledgeable at what they're doing, people, because they're important, They lead the session. They probably lead more sessions than Arteta, really and truly. And we all know, we spoke earlier about delegation with Edu and Arteta and things. He's got to be able to do that with his coaching staff. How many of you have played semi-pro or Sunday league or whatever? I'm sure you had a coach, you had an assistant coach, and you had other people around. So it's the same thing, really and truly. Oh yeah, man. That's what I think in relation to that, man. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button. What's Chris saying? Not an Arsenal fan either, but DG, you're one of the most knowledgeable and humble personalities on this platform. I appreciate that, Chris. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. I have seen that Martinelli is back. I have seen that he's back. Prediction, to be fair, I think that's the one thing I left out. What is your prediction for Crystal Palace? I think I left that out of my preview. I say 3-2 Arsenal. I think it's a greasy one. I think it's a... I can't lie. Palace scare me. Palace scare me. They've been our bogey team. The last four games have been a bit shaky. So we'll have to see, man. I'd say a greasy 4-3. Hopefully we can do what we need to do. Stylish has said, what's your opinion on Matty Cash? He looked decent, can't lie, and he looks like he has a big ceiling to improve. I don't really rate him too tough, to be fair with you, but he does make a lot of interceptions and he is there in the league. But who knows, man? Football's a funny old game of opinion. So you might have something there, man. SA has said, yo, DG, my bad. I haven't caught a stream in a while, got furlonged, and right now I'm recovering from COVID. First things first, wishing you a speedy recovery and hope you return to full health soon, my guy. And, come on, man. My stream's always there. YouTube's always there. There's many things more important. So it is what it is in that regards. Hopefully you get safe, man. You get well and safe and you feel better soon, man. So yeah, big up yourself, my guy. I appreciate you for tuning in. And like I said, hope you're in good spirits. But next transfer business, Arsenal back to seal Buendia January transfer window. Now you've heard a lot. You've heard a lot about Buendia. We've heard a lot, the latest reports is we spoke to his advisors and there's feasibility. We've been hearing Buendia allegedly is keen to make the move, and nothing that doesn't what's the word? It doesn't it doesn't shock me. If you're trying to see the feasibility around doing a deal, then you're indirectly going to contact the agent, who apparently we've got a good relationship with because they've got clients like Martinez, and seeing the feasibility, what sort of personal terms and contract length and those little intricate dealings that Buendia would have, and also his feasibility to make the move, and seeing how encouraged the player is from his end. That's one thing I'll give Arsenal. When there's a little bit of encouragement, they'll go for it. So I'd like to see it. We all know it comes down to money. We've been quoted as 40 million. I'm not going to go over it again, but for a variety of reasons, Norwich are not forced to sell, for a mixture of selling players in the summer, trying to get top four. I mean, promoted at the championship and things like that. We're trying to get top four. Buendia would have to force the issue, and Arsenal would have to force the issue. And when you look at our last couple of signings, we haven't really forced those. It's not that it's not that we haven't signed players we thought were good or good players. It's like they're very reactive. We tried to sign that Raya keeper from Brentford. It didn't work out. We went for a keeper that was halfway out the door from Dijon in Runnison. Zaha, they wanted money up front. Leo are a selling club. That's why we've got Pepe. If you want Buendia, you're going to have to make him available. I do think you can get him less for 40 million, but you're going to need to cough up, sure as that. And again, maybe even so much the last game Joe Willock and Reece Nelson played, I'm sure many people would like them to go out on loan or even be offered again, like we've spoken about previously, in a loan bid. So we'll have to see, people. Apparently there's encouragement. I don't actually think this is the article that's alleging to it. I think this is Kevin Campbell's comments. Big up Kevin Campbell, but in relation to his actual comments, they're not relevant to what we're talking about, but they are the latest reports and whatnot, people. There is talk about Bissouma and things like that as well. But there's also talk about Nzonzi now. Pardon me. 1 second, people. In relation to Nzonzi, I don't believe it because, again, he's 32. There's not really longevity. It's about 5 years too late. We wanted him at Blackburn. We wanted him at Roma. We wanted him at Seville. We're always linked with him. It's like Mvila and them things there, or Benzema. It's like United and Benzema when they're always linked with him. It's one of those things. And apparently, Arsenal are interested. Everton are interested. Crucially, again, this is where the rumors come from. He will hold a short discussion with Roma to terminate his contract. That's why he's currently out on loan at this moment in time. Again, it's not going to make any sense really, because at 32 years of age, I'm either going to try and do what Willian did and get a 3-year deal at this football club, or sign for significant wages. It's not going to make much sense. So in relation to Nzonzi, I think that one there is nonsense. To be fair, there are worse players, but it's not going to help us. It doesn't scream longevity. There's no need for it. If you're going to go for that sort of box-to-box sort of player, you go for Bissouma. But again, Buendia is a different player. But once again, you should be able to sign a player from Norwich or Brighton, but the playing fields are even now. Unless a player forces those moves, these teams don't have to force it. So again, if you want Bissouma, who we're going to get onto you, if you want Buendia, you need to make them available. Nzonzi, he's got 1 foot out the door at Roma. So again, that would probably interest Arsenal because it's easier. How many players are available? Did Everton want to sell Wayne Rooney, or did United say, here's 30 million for this 16-year-old, F off and let's do our thing? You need to put money on the table. So, if it came to it, I'd rather Bissouma, Sadly, Bissouma missed the penalty in the FA Cup, and we all know how good of a player he is. I think, I would like to see another 6 or combative figure. Partey's a bit of a hybrid between an 8 and a 6. He can ball play as well as breaking down play. But I think you also need a Bissouma. For obvious reasons, football is a squad game, people. You can already see, when we're missing Partey, not only don't we have a good midfielder really in our midfield, but we're significantly down. I would like someone that could fill in instead of Partey. I would like someone that could be played with Partey in combative games where we might have less of possession. And again, if you want to sign the 23-24-year-old Mali international from Brighton, you have to make him available. Brighton need him a lot. They don't want to sell him unless you're going to give them top dollar, and especially halfway through a season that is moving kind of shaky for Brighton, where they might be fighting relegation. Also in January, it's difficult to do business. How will they have time to find a replacement? Will they be able to afford their replacement? Because if I was a midfielder being monitored by Brighton that was of a similar makeup to Bissouma or whatever club that is, if Bissouma moves to Arsenal, it's a knock-on effect. I'm going to say, Brighton, you just sold Bissouma to Arsenal, innit? I know I said 15 million, but come on, I know you got a 25 there. So it's a knock-on effect there. I think, and as you lot know, Bissouma and Buendia are two different sorts of midfielders. Buendia, I think people forget he plays off that right-hand side, that inverted playmaker, as well as he can play in the traditional 10. And I think long-term he can do the Santi stuff. I think you need Buendia and Bissouma. They're two, again, it's a bit like our and Partey sort of thing. I think you need both those sort of play. I think they complement each other in our midfield. I think Arsenal's midfield is lacking both and things like that. So again, away from the names like Partey and Aouar, like Bissouma and Buendia, I think you need those two skill sets. And this is where I need to see the club have plan B, plan C, plan E, etc. targets people. I would love Bissouma. He's 24 years of age. He's really improved. Obviously, he's flavour of the month now. Apparently, he's in good contact with Gabriel and Pepe from his time at Lille. Obviously, apparently, he's an Arsenal fan on all those things. Let's not lie. The London aspect as well has to play a part and things like that. So I would all be for him. But again, you're gonna have to put the money on the table. Do I see Arsenal shelling out 30 to 40 for Bissouma? Do I see them shelling out 40 for Buendia? I'd love to be proven wrong, but I can't see them dropping them bands in January, people. We already know what Football London is saying, is that Arsenal are interested in the possibility of signing Bissouma. Football London understands, but any move for Bissouma is likely to be in the summer. So again, the priority is allegedly a creative midfielder. Obviously, Mesut Ozil might complete a move away from this football club, and already know the highlight. We already lack creativity. I would like more of a modern day 8. I believe 8s and 8.5s are the new number 10s. Obviously, if you can find a traditional 10 and make it work, I'm all for that. So we have to sit on our hands for a second. And obviously, he's linked with Liverpool as well. Is a central defensive midfielder a priority for Liverpool, or if they were going to sign anyone in January, it would be a centre-half based on things. But apparently a close friend of Bissouma's told Football London that he loves the Premier League and would choose Arsenal over any Premier League club if they came in for him. And that's music to my ears as an Arsenal fan, but money talks. Big up yourself, Crow, as well, for calling me a people's champion, things like that. Hopefully I keep rising. But it's like Gooner Gamer said, money talks. I know he says that, and that's of encouragement to me as an Arsenal player. But at the same time, I think that's very dangerous. You shouldn't. That's speaking from the heart, not necessarily saying your head. I'm not saying they're not points to consider moving to Arsenal. Hell, I'm an Arsenal fan. But at the same time, and we don't know if they're in for him, but if Liverpool are interested in you, the only reason I would not sign for Liverpool is game time. They've got hella midfielders there. They might sign another one, but they're Champions League football, playing in, trying to win trophies and things. At 24 years of age, I'd like to be part of that for the next couple of years. If City were in for you, if a top European club was in for you, obviously I'm hoping that, him being, obviously I know he's a Mali international, but he spent a lot of time in France, and obviously Arsenal all clubs are. But Arsenal's got a huge following across Africa, and he's grown up obviously around it and stuff like that. So I hope that plays a part. I hope he's an Arsenal fan. I hope Arteta's able to convince him to somehow sign. I want him to, but I think that's dangerous. And I mean, you owe us that, Bissouma, because you laughed at us when we lost to you, man. You owe us that, my guy. So summertime, make sure you're coming to Arsenal. But in relation to now, it's a myth. Apparently contact has already been made with his agent, and that's what I like to see, is their feasibility. I appreciate that, Graham. I really appreciate that. The bulk of summer business is being done now. Like, I's are being dotted, T's are being crossed right now. It doesn't mean moves are being done, but you don't just wake up in the summer window and we're like, oh, we got to sign players. You're talking indirectly with agents and with clubs, and things are going on in the background right now. So it doesn't surprise me if contact has already been made with his agent, trying to see if it could be done in this season, probably in the summer. A summer move is seen as more realistic. As you lot know, we've had to take, this article's gone and said we've taken out 120 million loan. We also have a lot of futures to deal with. Now, again, if he digs his heels, I don't know what happened there, people. The mic temporarily things. Like I'm saying, I hope in the summer that we can get people off the wage book and things like that. But again, if we get Champions League football, and that's a big if, we can see what could happen. But we ain't got an owner that's going to inject more funds and try and see what he can get away with fair play. So again, and not too many of our summer the parties are going to raise funds. It's more sort of freeing up the wage bill. Are we going to find 40 million for Bissouma, maybe 40 plus for the Hour or the Buendia or anyone that we don't get in the summer that would be linked with? And then also that's about 80 million. We've heard we want a centre half. You know, that could be anything from 10 to 40 million. Do you know? And any other areas, you know, for me, I'd like us to look for a backup goalie. Say it doesn't happen in the summer, you know. I mean, say it happens in January. Apologies, people. I don't know what the hell is going on and it's annoying me. But like I said, it all adds up, man. We'll just go with the default, Mike. It all adds up in the summer, and you're talking over 100 million or so, and I can't see where that's coming from, especially where we don't know if we're getting Europa League football. And obviously, even Europa League football hasn't got the too much of riches. So again, we'd have to see the parties. You know, Xhaka's future should still be uncertain. You know, Dani Ceballos will go back to Real Madrid, and Joe Willock, potentially in an ideal world, he shouldn't be at this club in the summer. He should be somewhere where he's playing consistent football somewhere. Again, if he develops, and that can happen for him at Arsenal, fair play. But yeah, man, I would love to see it happen, but I can't see it, you know. So in relation to any pivots with Partey and Bissouma, have to call that one a myth there, my guys. You just have to nip that one there in the bud, people. Yeah, moderators, make sure you're doing your job. Sean, apologies for just tuning in. I've literally just spoke about him, so please scroll back, people. Please scroll back. I'm going to try and plug the mic back in. Hello? Yeah. If it cuts off one more time, I'll go back. I'm cautious of, you know, you're getting two different sound qualities. If it cuts off again, apologies, my guys, but I'll take that risk for you guys. Moving away from that, and speaking of the parties, people that need to depart, you know, Socrates, he's being linked with quite a few moves, man. Every day there's another club. There's Genoa. There's all these things. Apparently, Real Betis want to sign Socrates from Arsenal, and the defender is keen on moving to Spain. It'd be a new adventure for him, as opposed to returning to Italy or Germany or another Premier League team, or going back to Greece. However, it's understood that Betis will need to sell players first, as they're struggling under FFP laws enforced by La Liga. And there's also other reports that say they've just got squad issues they want to deal with. So again, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I hope it happens, but I can't really see it. And like we can see here, Genoa are no longer confident to sign Socrates. For the Greek centre-half, because he has not accepted the destination. It cut off, people. Really don't know what's going on with the mic. It's a wire problem, you know, people. It's a wire problem is what I've seen. But either way, you know, so it's bad news for us and good news for them. They've moved on and found another target. So in relation to moving on Socrates, if there's going to be issues, you know, there's a whole bunch of reports of talking about Socrates in particular, folks. Don't worry, people. It's acting. Don't worry, man. I appreciate you guys. Good looking out. Moderators, please make sure you're doing your jobs. Apparently, people are quite stressed. But apparently, Socrates is convinced about making a move to Real Betis, and the Spanish club are working to make it happen. We know he's widely expected to leave between now and the summer. You know, apparently it's the best for him. Apparently they've offered him more or less a longer contract, as you can see, and they can kind of supplement his high wages, people. But again, moves are going to have to happen. And again, you can already see, similarly, they have to hope that La Liga have no problems with their salary cap, which they have already exceeded by 15 to 18 million. So unless they discard people in a difficult month to move players off, it's not going to happen, you know. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, people. What is this? Oh, it's the same one. Apologies, people. And again, Eriksen has reared his head. Oh, this ain't the Eriksen one. There's Eriksen news popping up again, people. But apparently, you know, Napoli are not giving up on Kieran Tierney. That actually wasn't to show you lot, people. That was for my own benefit to laugh. But this is actually the one I'm speaking about, you know. Again, I don't know if this is just the headline and clickbaiting, but, you know, director backs Arsenal to sign unhappy player in January. Talking about Eriksen, the 28-year-old is unhappy with his situation at the San Siro and has been linked with several Premier League teams. As you can see, he has actually been linked with Spurs again. Trying to scroll down to the relevant parts. Clearly, they're trying to move on the player. Apparently, Arsenal are regaining confidence. They're walking again, and Eriksen honestly could be of use there. Why can't you keep him at your club if he's of use? You know, you're just trying to flog him. You know, apparently, you know, I know the Denmark national coach has been quite critical, and he said, "I'm convinced that Christian makes the right decisions that benefit both his club career and the Danish national team." And I think this is also from the director. He said, in light of the facts, yes, but every player needs trust and opportunity. And at Inter Milan, he had few opportunities. He must feel strong and important, and that's fact, really and truly. I know Mesut Ozil. You know, I'm sure you've all seen Mesut Ozil. You know, he's carrying on the links to Fenerbahce and moving to Fenerbahce and things like that. As you could see, he done a Q&A. He said, "I grew up as a Fenerbahce fan as a kid in Germany. Every Turkish person supports a Turkish team when they're growing up in Germany. And mine was Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce is like Real Madrid in Spain, the biggest club in the country." So again, that's a bit of propaganda to obviously rile up the Fenerbahce fans and make Arsenal fans think some moves happening and whatnot. And again, at the time of making this video, it's coming up to 6 o'clock, 2 minutes from 6 people. And as you lot can see here, to coincide with yesterday, and Arteta saying in a few days something's going to happen, at 7:30, whatever time this is, people, his agent will be talking to Ben Sports. So again, I guess he will offer some sort of, he might remain coy, but you'd imagine he'd obviously talk about his client and how important his client is, and obviously talk about a move to Fenerbahce. And I think a Fenerbahce director or something to do with the club has spoken about their chances and spoken about the likelihood. So it seems that all roads in relation to Mesut Ozil point to Turkey. So there they go, people. And he actually said yesterday as well, people, that I can't find it, but he said he wants to play in 2 countries before he retires, Turkey and America. 2 teams he's interested in. Does he think, okay, now between the end of this season and next year, I'm going to do up Fenerbahce and then I'm going to go to America? We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. And I did see that, my guy, but I mean, both sides, what do anyone expect them? Jose's obviously going to talk west. Ozil's hardly going to come out and say he wants to move to Spurs. So it's more of the same. Big up Osman, the Gooner. But apparently, you know, Arsenal, again, there's always a conspiracy among Arsenal fans not saying him about contracts and things. But as you lot know, Marie's progress could be at the detriment to Arsenal with financial issues. Apparently, if Pablo Mari plays against Palace, Arsenal will have to pay an extra 1 million to Flamengo. His contract provides that Flamengo will receive 1 million every time he plays 10 games for Arsenal until he reaches the maximum value of 8 million. So again, that's probably nothing. We've probably factored in that. We already know about Bissouma. We've spoken about Nzonzi. And yeah, we've spoken about that as well. So I can actually remove my screen. You know, we've spoken about Martinelli, Rob Holding, Arteta and the Kroenkes and all the rest of it, man. So it's been an interesting one in that regards, people. And it seems that my lights are doing a madness as well. Stop sharing that. So yeah, people, what have you lot got to say? Let me take a couple questions really quickly. It would be, but it's dream chasing, man. If we can find the money somewhere, I would love to find the money, but I just can't see it happening, man. I really can't see us finding the cash for that. Hopefully it does happen. Who knows, man?